Good evening, horror ghouls, and welcome to the Horror Ghouls After Dark. Okay,
Ooh.
so um, I don't know if this will come out before or after our first. We kind of called it a water cooler episode,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we are the Horror Ghouls After Dark. These episodes are meant to be a little bit shorter, a hodgepodge of different things. We'll talk about things that are going on, movies that we might have seen. Maybe we'll do events, who knows? But right now, as you
We
can
love a
see,
hodgepodge. Yes.
right? As you can see up on the screen, we have upcoming horror movies releasing in 2025. So we thought it would be a good idea to go through these and kind of see what looks good, what doesn't, what we've heard of. As you can see, it looks like what is that? Of course, it's Saw, Megan 2. I believe that's the phone or whatever. I think it was called the phone or the
Yeah, I
telephone.
think so.
I know
Something like
I
that.
know what the movie is, but
I'm like, I think so, and then we scroll down and we're both totally
right.
wrong. Like it's gonna be something like not like that at all. That freaks me
Um,
out though.
that's
That
the one where he
face.
had the little boy in
And
the
that like basement
yeah,
something. I
and there was a
remember.
phone. So yeah, I think it's called the phone. But anyway,
We're gonna
so we're
see.
gonna go ahead and scroll through these. We'll read the little descriptions and see how we feel about it. So, and thank you to Screen Rant for allowing us to use their website.
Thanks so much, Screen Rant.
Right? So, first thing, it is not January 10th. So, this movie is already out. It is called Companion,
I want to see this
um,
one.
directed by Drew Hancock. Now, I haven't really heard anything about this. So, it has, Sophie Thatcher, which I think we just saw her in something else recently, actually.
She's also in Yellow Jackets,
Oh,
which is
okay.
an amazing show. Have you seen any of Yellow Jackets?
No, I've heard about it though.
Oh my God, I think you would love it. It's a series, um, essentially about a girls' soccer team who their plane goes down on their way to
Right.
a game, and they have to like survive in the woods, and it's like super dark, and it's an amazing cast, and she's awesome.
Okay.
That's my two
So, yeah.
cents.
So, I have to look into Yellow Jackets, but,
hmm
so let's see. Companion. It says marking his first movie debut, writer and director Drew Hancock creates a compelling anti-love story. Companion is a sci-fi thriller by New Line Cinema, who we love,
hmm
um, and the creators behind Barbarian, which honestly, good movie. Okay, I'm not mad at Barbarian. The synopsis of the movie revolves around the concept of a website called findyourcompanion.com, where people can find a companion that suits them. Although the companion trailer offers no further clarity, it sets up a gripping atmosphere between the couple, Irish and Josh. From the looks of it, the thriller follows a woman using a questionable dating service, leading her to meet a man with a dark side and ulterior motives.
So it's just about my dating history? That's weird.
You know, that gives me the vibes of that movie that came out. Oh my God. Was it called like Run Girl Run or something like that? Where the
Run, bitch.
girl
I don't
where
know.
the girl went on a date with a guy and he ended up being like a sadistic killer and he was like, I'm gonna hunt you all night long. I think
All night long. Sorry,
it
I just got my Lionel Richie. All
but yeah,
night,
but that's what I think it is.
all night.
So
Okay.
you said you want to see this.
I do want to see this, and someone mentioned it to me the other day. This is one that's definitely on my list. It's on my list.
I don't think I would see this, but I think if it came on like Netflix or something like that, I probably would watch it then. I wouldn't go into theaters to see it, but it sounds interesting.
I might miss it.
So,
Let's like I have the best intentions, but I wind up not getting to the movies as often as I want to. So I might see this
same,
streaming, but it's one that I do want to watch.
same. So,
Wolfman, this is one we talked about recently.
yes, so here is Wolfman. I don't think we need to go into the synopsis. We kind of talked about it.
We
Um,
did. And it's
but
Universal Pictures because, we're rebooting some of
yes,
our Universal monsters, which is fine with
yes.
me as a big Universal Monsters fan, as long as we do it right. That's all I'm going to say.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
It gives me Slender Man vibes, but we'll see what happens. At least the picture here gives me Slender Man vibes, so we'll see. And
Yeah.
it's Blumhouse, and I'm a little mid on Blumhouse, but it's okay.
Yeah, but also look,
Um,
it says Insidious is Lee Wanell returns as director, and Insidious was solid,
it
so
is. I will give him that. I guess
maybe.
I will read this still, just so we at least have it. Wolfman is the 2025 remake of the 1941 Universal classic The Wolfman. The
Yay.
movie comes after Universal Pictures' success with The Invisible Man, which is that also
It is, and it's one I
okay.
didn't see.
I did see that.
You saw the remake?
Yes, I did.
What, how did you like it?
Um, yeah, it wasn't bad. I honestly, not knowing that it was Universal Monsters at all.
Yeah.
Even though when I think about it, yes, because yeah, he's all wrapped up and stuff. But
Yeah.
um,
My thing is like, as you know, and I've mentioned this before, I'm a snob about our reboots, right? We do
right.
a lot of unnecessary reboots. So when I see something that was so amazing and so classic, even like The Wolfman's a classic, but there's been a lot of re kind of like iterations of it, right? But Wolfman, same kind of thing. Invisible Man less though. There have been less
Yeah.
reboots of it, and it's just kind of like, I don't know if I need to see it. Like, I don't know.
Like I feel like The Invisible Man was a series or something at one point too. But I will say the remake that I saw, I thought that the story was good. I liked the way that they did the actual like Invisible Man stuff.
Hmm.
And like I'm not gonna say anything about I'm not gonna give any story up for that.
Right, right.
But I thought that the acting in that movie, as far as like telling the story, was really good.
Okay.
So, like I would honestly give that a solid 7, probably.
Oh, okay.
So it was decent. It wasn't I have had movies where I've stood up and booed at the end, and this was not one of them.
Oh
So,
man, tough
okay.
customer. Yeah.
Right. Vanilla Sky looking at you.
Mm.
Anyway. Um, but yeah, so this movie comes after Universal Pictures' success with The Invisible Man and continues the studio's plan to revive their classic monsters. Insidious's Lee Whannell returns as director and co-writer. The Wolfman story sees a family of 3 on their way to a cabin when they get into a car accident caused by a strange creature.
Mm.
Afterward, the man starts undergoing a horrific transformation that puts in danger his wife and daughter. The supernatural drama's cast include Julia Garner from Ozark, Christopher Abbott from Poor Things, and Matilda Firth. So,
Oh, Poor Things was good. It was weird. It's not a horror, but
mm.
Poor Things was cool. Except for that I saw way more of what's his face's body than I ever needed to see. I did not
Whose
need to
body?
know what that he had hair like above his butt crack. Like that's not a thing I needed to
Whose
know.
body is this?
The
Because I
Hulk.
don't know what Poor
The
Things is.
Hulk.
Why did I almost say Janine Garofalo?
Why
That's not who I mean. That's not who I meant.
why
But
am I so bad with names lately? I can't think of anyone's name.
you're talking about the new Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Mark Ruffalo.
Yes, I saw
Okay.
his whole butt.
Oh, wow.
I didn't need to see it. I didn't need
Yeah,
it.
that's not a butt I think I need to see either.
No.
Which I like him. I think he's
I
great.
like him just fine, but
Yeah.
I don't need to know the placement of his body hair on it. Like it's something I can't forget now. I
Interesting.
don't need it in my life.
Is
No.
that weird movie where it was like,
Emma,
yeah, Emma Stone?
yeah.
Okay, I know. I remember when you said you were gonna go see that, and you
It
did
was
say it
good.
was,
It
yeah.
was good, but it was
Okay,
weird. It was weird.
okay. Well, I honestly, I'm interested in seeing Wolfman. I think it has a limited release though. It has like a short release window for some reason.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm interested in that. I think it would be a good movie to see.
Yeah.
I love monster movies. I
Yeah.
like kaiju movies. I'm I'm over there with the Godzilla and Kong people, so I like that
Mm.
stuff. But
Kong. Yeah.
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
So let's see. We have Presents. Now I've not heard of this, coming out January 27th, 2025.
Steven Soderbergh. Okay.
Hmm. So let's see. While this movie's premise may not be original, its narrative promises a twist to The Haunted House, joining Steven Soderbergh's list of movies, which includes titles such as Aaron Brockovich, Traffic, and Magic Mike's Last Dance, which is a wonderful
What a
movie.
what a mixed bag of
Right.
movies. That's wow.
Those 3 movies are so totally different from each other.
I'm like, what?
And let's just
Wow.
add Presence to the list.
And
So
now presents.
yeah,
Yeah.
Presence is a thriller that employs the ghost's POV
Oh,
to create a truly unsettling experience. That sounds
I'm
really interesting.
I'm interested. That's got me
Yes.
interested. Yes.
It has Lucy Liu, Chris Sullivan, Kalina Liang, Eddie Madej, Mulholland, and Julia Fox.
Oh, Julia Fox really getting her 15 minutes of fame in there, man.
Right,
Wow.
right. I haven't seen Lucy Liu since Charlie's Angels,
I
so
know it's been a minute for her too. All right.
right.
Well, I'm interested. I'm gonna see about that one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's January 24th. We're not going to play any of these.
No.
You
No
can look.
copyright
No, you
infringements.
can go watch it on YouTube, guys. Um, okay, so as the audience adopts the specter's shoes, they ache for its clueless and unseeing victims. The film was written by David Cope, Coep.
I would say
S-
cop. I don't know.
Listen, he's the screenwriter of Jurassic Park. That's
I
listen.
know you're sold. I know.
I'm all in. And Spider-Man. Upon its premiere at the Sundance Festival, Presents received a wave of positive reviews, praising Soderbergh's eerie atmosphere and innovative style.
Huh.
It seemed this is not since the others. This is something we have not seen in quite some time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
This is interesting.
I felt like the others was so interesting because it had that plot twist in there.
Yeah.
Um, and you don't realize, if the others came out millions of years ago. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. I am about to say about this one. But like the whole time you don't realize that you're seeing like a dead family.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. So I'm really, really curious to see how they pull off Presence. Because the others was fantastic. And I think
Yeah.
that, this would be really interesting. So
I agree. I definitely agree.
yeah. And
Hmm.
so anybody that worked on Jurassic Park is amazing. So it is what it is. So we
Screamboat. Oh no. Oh God.
so,
Okay.
Steamboat Willie. Uh,
That was like the original little Mickey Mouse when he was on the boat.
yes.
This is gonna be like a Winnie the Pooh. Like I can't. I'm out. I'm already out.
Yeah.
I don't need to know
Yeah.
anything else. I'm out.
I'm still gonna read it.
Oh no, I'm
So
not saying don't read it. I'm just saying
I know I
I
understand.
know that I'm out before knowing anything else.
I'm low key interested to see what this trailer looks like.
I
I'm
hate
not
this
going to.
so much.
Oh, see, listen, it's from the producers of Terrifier 2 and the mean one. Terrifier. I love Art the Clown. Definitely. I met him. I met the director of the movies. Um but that movie, like after the first one, it got weird. So
Yeah.
I'm a little anyway, let's read this. Based on based on Steamboat Willie by Weird Walt Disney, Screamboat offers a bloody take on the Mickey Mouse character. From
Uh,
producers of Terrifier 2 and The Mean One, Screamboat features actor David Howard Thornton as the killer Steamboat Willie.
I can't. So we're gonna take Art the Clown
Hmm.
and we're gonna make him dress as a killer mouse. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Listen,
My eye is watering.
if listen, let me tell you something. If this is the Pete that I think it is, I'm all in for Pete. Like, Pete that's always in like Goofy and stuff like that. I don't
Oh,
remember him being in Steamboat Willie,
oh
the
God.
Steamboat Mickey or whatever. I don't remember that, but I would look at this if it came on like Shutter or something. Um, so let's see.
Oh,
The iconic events horror movie follows people on board a nightly New York cruise as they are hunted down by a murderous creature. So he's definitely a mouse. Look, you can see in the
uh,
shadow, he doesn't look right. The unfortunate characters must hide, run, or prepare to fight if they want to survive. So, and yeah, those are the actors there. So that's interesting. Like I said, I will see it if it's on Shutter or like Max or something like that. I'll watch it at that point, Netflix. I'm not going to pay to see that. Um,
no, no.
I feel like this is one of those, it's a Friday night, you got your drinks, you got your pizza or your Chinese food or something like that, and you're ready to pick the toe gem from between your toes and you want to watch something while you do it.
I don't
So,
think I can do it. Winnie the Pooh, seeing that one, anything that is giving me the vibe of that, I just
so you're not going to see Bambi then.
no.
I
I
know. I'm not
almost
seeing
screamed
Bambi.
F no. Like I almost did, but I held that. I'm holding it
Yes.
inside. No.
I'm not going to see B&B either. Oops, sorry. We're not doing premium
You
screen
don't want
rant.
to
My
do a
bad.
you don't want a subscription? Okay.
No.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to go away from that. The monkey. Now I
Oh,
have heard of this.
I think I don't know. Did I send you this from the movie theater the other day? Like the big
Yeah.
cardboard cutout?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw this. I didn't see any trailer, but when I went to the movies the other day for Nosferatu, um, they had a giant like cardboard thing, and it showed the monkey with his beautiful smile that if you're watching with us, you can see in this picture. And
Yes.
it said Stephen King and it said James Wan, and I was
And
like, interested,
right.
interested.
Right. So
Yeah,
that right there is like, okay, all in. So I'm gonna skip this little thing up here, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
No, I'm trying to see if it's saying the same thing. No, I can read it. It's fine. So The Monkey, adapted from the story of the same name by Stephen King. The Monkey
Love.
is a horror mystery film that follows twin brothers, Hal and Bill, who discover a mysterious monkey toy in their father's attic that seems tied to several grisly deaths. After years apart, twins learn that similar deaths have begun again and must reunite to destroy the monkey. So sounds a little interesting.
Oh, but wait, look at the cast too.
Yeah. The
Elijah
Elijah
Wood.
Wood. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen him since Lord of the Rings. I'm sure he's been in
Sarah
something
Levy.
else.
I wonder if that's Eugene and Dan Levy's
Oh,
daughter or sister,
maybe.
respectively. If
That'd be
that's her name.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested.
So
Look at this eyeball staring at
I
us right
know, right?
now.
Based on Stephen King's eponymous, I hope I said that right. Eponymous short story, The Monkey is a supernatural horror movie written and directed by Longlegs,
Mm,
Osgood Perkins. So we've heard we've heard some mixed things about Longlegs recently. So
yes.
not sure if it's great or bad,
Not sure. Not
but I'm
sure.
interested in seeing it still. So we'll see. The film features a simple yet thrilling story and is set for release February 21st, 2025. Infused with Perkins' characteristic style, The Monkey promises an enthralling, gory, and euphoric experience.
Euphoric seems like an interesting word to describe.
It is. But
That's not one that I would guess.
now I have to be honest. When I read the story up here about the twins and the deaths and stuff, that didn't really catch me. But the enthralling, gory, and euphoric part did.
Honestly, the little snippet there is not really giving me anything,
Right.
but it's the Stephen King of it and the James Wan of it together that I'm like, I feel like I need to give that a shot. And
Yeah.
also Elijah Wood. Who
Yeah.
can hate on Elijah Wood, you know?
Right. And Elijah picks a lot of interesting roles. Like he normally
Yeah.
picks roles that are real odd. So, this might actually be really, really good.
Yeah, it could be good.
Like I said, we haven't seen Longlegs and Osgood Perkins. If Longlegs is as creepy and weird as I think it is, and on the good side, then this could be really good as well with the combination of Stephen King and James Wan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Side note, we might have talked about this before, so forgive me everyone if we did. Did we talk about The Mist before?
I don't know if we talked about it here, but we have talked about it personally
And you
before.
saw it,
Yeah.
right?
I've seen The Mist and The Fog, and I always mix up the two.
Me too. But so The Mist was one I might have said again, if I told this story before, I apologize. The Mist was one where I went to the theater not knowing it was a Stephen King, and I watched it at the end and all the crazy shit that happens. And no spoilers again, because like this isn't a formal review, we're just talking. Um, Everything that happens, the craziness of the end scene. And I sat there kind of just stunned with like I feel like my mouth was a little agape where I was like, and then across the screen it said like based on the book by Stephen King, and I was like,
Makes
oh,
sense.
okay, it
It
makes
makes
sense
sense.
now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you never
Yeah.
know with Stephen King.
That's true. And I
Yeah.
feel like you never know with James Wan either. Like,
That's what I mean. So the two of them together is like, what are we in for?
so we'll see. That might be a triple threat. But February 21st, I will certainly be looking forward to this one.
A
It looks
belated Valentine's Day date.
right. Right.
What's better than that?
So
Oh,
yeah.
and they have one person playing both the twins.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
But it says the twins must stop the murderous monkey's murder spree. So interesting. That to me, I'm because he has this smile like this, I'm wondering how many times he's going to be ripping people to shreds with his
He
teeth.
has a beautiful smile. It really is.
Yes,
taking my
yes.
breath away. Yeah.
Yes, it's a very Smile Direct Club. So, all right. So let's see. We have Vicious, February 28th, 2025, directed by Brian Bertino. Vicious is a thriller that follows a young woman forced to confront perilous challenges overnight after receiving a mysterious gift. As she navigates a menacing situation, she must fight for her survival, uncovering deeper threats within the unsettling present delivered by a nocturnal visitor.
Mm,
And it has, oh, Dakota Fanning, Catherine Hunter, Rachel Blanchard.
mhm.
Okay. So I'm a fan of Dakota. I think Dakota's a great actress.
Solid.
Um, I know she just did that was M. Night Shyamalan's daughter's movie.
This literally, based on the thing, is
Mhm.
giving me the same vibe as that movie, kind of.
It's
It's
given
not,
me
yeah,
that, and there was another movie, I think, what's it called? The Gift or something. There's another movie where there's a gift that's a package that's left, and people open it up, and some stuff happens.
it's the head from Seven. What's
What's
in
in
the
the
box?
box?
No.
But yeah.
This isn't giving me anything exciting that I'd be really stoked to see it. Like the trailer would have to blow me away. Because just reading this, I'm like, meh, I feel like I could wait.
And
Or maybe not see it at all. I don't know.
now, reading what I just read, I actually now I'm like, I'm not going to watch this probably
Yeah,
because it says from the director and writer of The Strangers and The Strangers Pray at Night.
yeah.
Now, The Strangers, fine. The original Strangers, great. The Strangers Pray at Night was not that good. As long as it's not the people who are doing this like prequel, reboot, whatever it is, okay, but I'm kind of mid on this. So
Yeah.
this is one that if it comes on again, Shutter or something, I might actually turn it on. Again, I like Dakota. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean the premise is okay. So it says it follows a woman who falls down a rabbit hole provoked by a gift she received from a visitor. Fanning's character will seemingly encounter other strange characters as she fights for her life. Um, and so this movie was moved back. It was supposed to come out August 8th, but it's moved to February 28th.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know what? When they moved it, I'm wondering because it doesn't feel like a summer blockbuster at
No, it
all.
doesn't.
It definitely feels like a early winter, early spring, or late or fall movie. So I'm wondering if there were other movies competing around that time that they felt like they'd have a better shot earlier
Mm,
in the year. So,
maybe.
hmm.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I'm not getting excited about that one.
Yeah, me neither. So let's see. Sinners, March 7th, 2025 by Ryan Coogler. Okay. Ryan
Oh
Coogler does some
gosh.
interesting things. So we have more brothers. So, two brothers return to their hometown in the Jim Crow era South, seeking a fresh start, only to find that an even greater evil, including the Ku Klux Klan, has taken root. Michael B. Jordan stars as twins in this
Oh,
vampire thriller directed by Ryan Coogler, bending supernatural horror and historical tension.
there's so much going on. Here's what I'll say. Historical horror is always interesting to me. Historical horror,
Yes.
right? I love Michael B. Jordan. The fact that he's playing two people again, that's difficult, so that's cool. But
Hmm.
now we're taking like the heaviest historical, like real life horror,
Yeah.
and we're including the KKK, which is like a lot, and Michael B.
Hmm.
Jordan, and then also vampires. That seems like too many things
I
to me.
mean,
I don't know.
listen, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, they did it. I mean, now honestly, they didn't have Ku Klux Klan or Jim Crow era stuff in it, but clearly, if Abraham Lincoln's around, they were slaves. So,
So I feel like the only way to make this satisfying is if the vampires are opposite the KKK and the KKK gets attacked by vampires, because then that could be about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Because what is it going to be? The KKK teams up with vampires? Because that's
well,
too much.
from what this sounds like, just reading that blurb, because
Yeah.
we haven't read anything else, and I don't think anything else needs to really be read. It's just talking
Yeah.
about where they work together. Um, it sounds like they're both evil against the brothers, possibly, because it
Oh,
says they find out that an even greater evil, including the Ku Klux Klan, which means they are both separate and evil.
that's
You
a
know what I'm
lot to
saying?
deal with.
It
That's
is. It
too
is.
much.
I don't know if I would want to watch this. I
Right.
tend to, I mean, I don't really like those type of movies that have that heavy racism, but I
Sure.
think it's offset by the vampire part. So it's like I'm curious, but at the same time, I'm not sure how this can be pulled off.
Yeah, it makes it
Um,
weird.
yeah. Um, but again, like you said, Michael B. Jordan is great. Ryan Coogler is a really good director. Like
Well,
they
it
said,
says some of his credits right there. Black
right.
Panther, Creed,
Right. So yeah, and it's almost like when somebody like a director has a certain group of people that they like working with and they just
Michael
use
B.
over and over.
Jordan.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I mean, honestly, at some point I'm gonna have to go back and look at this trailer so I can
Aw.
see exactly what this is like because if I can tell from the vibe of the trailer that it's okay or that it's not as heavy
Right.
as it seems, that might be fine. Because I mean, listen, I love historical movies that
Yeah,
don't have horror in them. I like to
sure.
separate my history from my horror. So,
I could do
yeah,
either one. I could do historical movies, I could do horror movies, I could do historical horror movies. But like I want to know what I'm getting into though. Like I don't want it
right,
to be like it's like Gone with the Wind, but now there's vampire. Like I don't want it to be like that. Even
right.
though that might have been an interesting movie.
Yeah, true.
Rhett Butler's a vampire now.
Right.
Like, well, okay. All right. I like that.
I think I'll hold my actual thoughts on whether I see this or not until after I
So
actually
the
watch this
trailer.
trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So again, sorry, we're not going to watch trailers here. We're
We
we're not
can't do
monetized.
it.
We're not monetized yet. We're not trying to do any copyright infringement anyway.
We don't
So
want to, cut off our nose to spite our face, you know?
yes. So now we have another one. The Woman in the Yard, March
My milkshake
28th.
brings all the boys. Just
Directed
kidding.
by is it Jami? Jami Colette Sarah? I'm
Sure.
not sure. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Um, okay. All right. So the
Another
director of
Blumhouse.
girl, did it say that?
It says,
I didn't
well,
even get there. Oh, I
I
see it
didn't want
now.
to, yeah,
I didn't.
sorry. I didn't want to get ahead of you. I read really fast. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I read fast when I'm not reading out loud. So
Yeah.
the director of Orphan, The Shallows, and Black Adam is working on a Blumhouse production for Universal Pictures. Thank you, Ad. Um, Colette Sarah's film stars actress Danielle Deadwyler, who received a BAFTA nomination for her role as Mammy Till Mobley in the 2022 movie Till. The Woman in the Yard wrapped filming in May 2024, set to release in on March 28th.
Well, that's not
Um,
really giving us any
yeah,
information.
this doesn't give us any information about this movie, so it's just The Woman in the Yard.
Literally nothing.
Yeah, so we don't have anything for this
Giving us nothing.
at all. And there's no trailer, there's no information. It was supposed to be released January 10th, but it was pushed back.
But
Um,
it says right there, um, a synopsis has not been
mhm.
disclosed. So you're gonna have
Yep.
a hard time getting the asses in those seats, even if
Yeah.
it's gonna release in March. It's the end of January, essentially, at
Right.
this point. Like
But
it's time to
see, the thing is, Jason Blum Productions, they do stuff like this. And they just expect you to show up because it's a Blumhouse original. And that is deterrent for me.
well, good luck. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see but because we don't know anything about this. From the picture, she just
Looks like
looks
some
like
kind of period
right.
piece,
It could
something.
possibly be taking place the same time Sinners was, so who
Yeah.
knows? Or it could be like 1950s, 1940s. It could be any time, so I
Yeah,
don't know. But I would love to see a preview of this or get a
sure.
synopsis even so we can see. But well, we'll have to find out later on.
We gonna find out.
Yes. So we now have Drop. We're in April now, directed by Christopher Landon. And it says a widowed mother's first date in years takes a terrifying turn when she's bombarded with anonymous threatening messages on her phone during their upscale dinner, leaving her questioning if her charming date is behind the harassment.
Hmm.
And I like the little tagline. It says, "Everyone's a suspect." So. And
Yeah.
this is also a Blumhouse production, though, and they gave the information for this one, so
They're killing 2025.
they are. But you know what? They always has. They're like A24 to me. It's like they just drop movies, and it's not until you actually are sitting watching a movie that you find out it's a Blumhouse production
Right.
or it's an A24 movie. Um,
tricksters.
Yes. So let's see. Um, a Blumhouse and Platinum Dunes. I like Platinum Dunes movies though. So a Blumhouse and Platinum Dunes movie collaboration, whatever. Drop is directed by Freaky and Happy Death Days, Christopher Landon. Now, I am a Happy Death Day lover. I do like that movie.
Hmm.
Even the second one is okay, but I found Happy Death Day to be like a fun time.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it's an unpopular opinion though.
I didn't see it because it didn't do anything for me.
It's
Actually, I think I did see it. I think I saw the first one and I was just like, meh, I don't care
yeah,
about it.
it's not something that's like, oh my God, this is the best movie ever. It's just a fun
Right.
time. But screenplay writers are Gillian Jacobs and Christopher Roach, who previously worked on Fantasy Island and Truth or Dare, which I saw both of those and they were trash. In my opinion, I did not a Fantasy Island remake I did not like. And
Hmm.
Truth or Dare, there were several Truth or Dares that came out at the same time and it was confusing. So I
Who
which Truth or
even
Dare?
knows? Who even
Right.
knows? We don't know.
So who knows? So again, it follows a widowed mother on a first date with a charming man after receiving anonymous messages, telling her to do as she's told or else her son will be killed.
Oh
The
gosh.
woman begins to doubt her dates.
Yeah, sure. They'll do it.
So honestly, I would probably watch this.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting. Again, I don't go to the movies too often, but I would definitely watch this at home and see what it's about. I would like to see a trailer for it so I can get a better feel for it.
Yeah.
Um, but I like the premise. I like those type of movies where there's something menacing going on with like phone calls or text messages and
Yeah.
computers and things like that, like
Yeah.
Unfriended or The Phone Booth or whatever. So yeah, I like those kind of movies.
Okay. Okay.
So guess we'll see. Flowervale Street, May 16th, 2025, directed by David Robert Mitchell. The picture has little bones. That's interesting.
Dinosaur bones. This might be
Hey,
something you like.
right. It's by Bad Robot, which I'm not mad at. I like it. It has, oh, listen, Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor. Hello?
Okay.
All right. So this is a 2025 sci-fi film from writer and director David Robert Mitchell. Plot details are under wraps. Uh,
It looks
okay.
like there's a little more. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think we can even click it though.
No, no, down
So,
here under the ad thing. It gives us
yeah.
a little bit.
So, written directed by It Follows David Robert Mitchell, set in the 80s, the movie
Love.
is said to focus on a family dealing with strange happenings in their neighborhood. The f-
Well, you know what they say. If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you
Who you
gonna
gonna
call?
call?
It's Ghostbusters, obviously.
Right?
Obviously. Yeah.
The third 2025 horror movie featuring young star Christian Convery. Flowervale Street's poster reveals dinosaurs play a role in the story.
That's interesting.
So yeah, there's no synopsis for this either. Um, and it was filmed in Georgia. Georgia has beautiful landscapes, so
I love that on the bottom it says, here are things we think. It's presented as sci-fi, however, with no synopsis disclosed yet. Anything
anything
is
is
possible.
possible. So yeah.
Is that a threat?
I
Oh,
will
is that?
say just yeah, I'm a dinosaur person. So
No.
based on this, and based on the little bit that they have and also the cast, I love Ewan McGregor. I like
Sure.
Anne Hathaway too. So I
Sure.
would definitely look at this. It Follows was good too. So I'm not mad at that. I don't always look at 80s like movies that are set in the 80s,
Mm,
but this seems interesting. So who knows? We'll
I
see.
love an 80s movie.
Yes.
Love it.
This
Oh,
right here.
yep.
Okay. Now, I I love 28 Days Later. There was one after that I didn't see, I don't think. I think it was 28 Weeks Later or something like that. But 28 Years Later, coming out June 20th, 2025, directed by Danny Boyle. And this is 28 years later, follows a group of survivors living on an isolated island nearly 3 decades after the rage virus outbreak. And so it says this is the first of a new trilogy of films. Wow, how many
Oh,
28 are we going to use? Um,
so many.
right, a new trilogy of films based on the famous 28 Days Later post-apocalyptic horror movie. Danny Boyle's movie brings back the original star Cillian Murphy, as Jim and pairs him with popular actors Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes. I can never say his name right. Jack O'Connell.
I want to say it's just Fines.
Fines, Fines. It is Fines.
But
Ralph
not for
Fiennes.
nothing. So we just talked about Aaron Taylor Johnson from Nosferatu and how
Hmm.
amazing he was. And I love, sometimes people say it even as Rafe, like Rafe Fiennes, because he's like
Oh,
foreign. So I'm not sure what it is, but I love him too.
yeah.
He was in Made in Manhattan, and also
Mm.
he's Lord Voldemort. So,
That's right. It is Fines. Now that you said that, it's
yeah.
Fines for sure. But, but yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah. That sounds interesting. Fiennes told IndieWire the film focuses on a boy trying to get his dying mother to a doctor in a Britain overrun. Is that a Britain overrun? Oh, okay. Britain overrun by zombies. 28 years later, wrapped filming in August and is set to release on June 20th. The second installment has also wrapped production. Okay.
I feel
So,
like, here's what I think. This is just my opinion, right?
hmm
I feel like the 28s, they're iconic movies in general. But I'm going to tell you, they're not my favorite, like, zombie type movies. I
yeah,
don't like fast zombies, and I'm sure nobody else does, and that's part of why it's so scary. But it's like, it's just not, like, I would watch it and I could appreciate it, but it's just like, to me, it's like, logistically also, because I get caught up in the logistics sometimes. If we're actually going to have zombies, they would be the crumbling, falling apart.
Walking Dead zombies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dragon ass kind, not the rage kind. But just my opinion. Just my
Now,
opinion.
honestly, I find the fast zombies to be exciting. So I do like watching it. And it, to be quite honest, I feel like it makes my adrenaline rush watching them.
Yeah.
I get like
Well,
so hyped up watching it.
I have anxiety, so for me,
So that's
it
not a good
it
thing.
gets me going in the wrong way. That
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't need to feel like panicky
right.
on my couch in my house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like the zombies in World War Z, I think were like mid. Like they were in the not mid as in bad, but like in the middle of being super fast and super slow.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was also a good thing. But the super fast zombies in the 28s, they're fast.
Right.
They are
Right,
zooming
right, right.
around.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so they're like, was that movie Crank?
Crank.
Like Crank level zombies. But I would see this. I would watch this.
Yeah.
I like these movies. I would give this a chance. I hate when they continue a franchise for a cash grab.
Yeah. So
Um,
hopefully it's like worth it.
yeah. And I'm sure that the biggest cash grab, in fact, I know the biggest cash grab that I'm annoyed with and tired of is on this list, so we'll get there.
Well, we're gonna see.
Yeah. So
We gonna see.
Megan
Megan
2.0.
2.0.
Now, did you see the first Megan?
I didn't.
I did. I did watch it. And honestly, again, that is a fun time movie.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not great. But it's decent. It's a decent movie. It's solid. I would give it a solid six.
Okay.
And for me, anything over five, guys, is good for me. Five is good. Um, so let's see. This is coming out June 27th, directed by Gerald Johnstone. And it says announced in 2023, Megan 2.0 is a sequel to the 2022 sci-fi horror film that centers on an artificial intelligence in the body. The sequel to the box office success started production in July this year. I think they mean 2024.
Mm.
And it's set to release in theaters in 2025. Oh, so this has been kept tightly under wraps. However, it will likely feature the murderous AI doll's return and follow up on Gemma and Katie.
Can I
So,
say, here's one
hmm
thing. So AI in general, as like horror, like sci-fi when it's really out there is not my favorite genre
hmm
in general. But the thing that pisses me off about like real life and this kind of shit, like Terminator, is that we see what happens when we create robots, and yet I see like Kim Kardashian, like, look at my new AI robot. I'm like, don't you remember what happens when you do this? Because just like anything, there's gonna come a time where it malfunctions. Like maybe it doesn't gain like total sentience, but maybe it tries to suffocate you in your sleep. Like, why are we inviting that? That's the thing that that bugs
Well,
me.
I
Like,
mean, listen. Humans are an interesting bunch of people.
Ah,
They're interesting species, and I think that we are going to be our own demise. We're going to bring it on ourselves. But
yeah.
the thing is, artificial intelligence is only going to be as intelligent as the information we provided. And unfortunately, we are providing it all the
Too
information
much.
we
I
have.
know. That's what I mean.
And I honestly think that at some point, probably not in our lifetime, but I do think at some point that our artificial intelligence will be so good that it is sentient on its own. I
That's what I
believe
mean. Like,
that.
I'm just not interested in that. I don't want that. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to suffer the consequences. I just don't want any part of it.
I am somebody that I'm like, if the aliens come take me, if artificial intelligence is about to pop off, I'm in. I'm excited by those type of things. Now, honestly, I'm not somebody that's going to fuel the fire. I'm not going to go buy a sentient robot that's going
Right.
to give me, or a GPS that's sentient and is like, trying to kill me by sending me off of a bridge or something.
Like a
But
self-driving car. I'm not
right.
interested in that.
Now, I
I'm
would
not
do a
interested.
self-driving car
Mm-mm.
because you there are overrides. It's just like cruise control, but to the max. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Except I literally saw a video a few days ago where a man was trapped in a parking lot and the car kept going in circles. And I'm so old. I want to say like the OnStar, like from
Hmm.
back in the day. The lady came on and was like, "I'm really sorry to hear you're having problems. We're looking into it right now." As he's getting nauseated and he's like, "I have to catch a flight." Right?
Yeah.
That's not happening with people. The worst thing that happens with a person is they try to murder you.
Well, the issue with AI right now is that there's not enough technology out here. It's not as advanced as it needs to be. So people who are buying into these fully automated items are kind of jumping the gun.
100%, but they're also releasing them as like taxi services, basically. And
Right.
people are getting in those, and that's where I think the problem is. Because if you're just a person that's buying it for yourself, you get what you deserve. Like that's that's all I'm gonna say. But if it's like you're in LA or something, and that's all there is for rideshare or like whatever, or like
Right.
then that's a problem. Because
Yeah.
we're not where we need to be, you
But
know,
I mean, that's the companies jumping the gun. Companies do this all the time. They put out prototypes and then they say, "Oh, this is great," without doing the testing that needs to be done. So,
because they're greedy.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, this movie, honestly, if you saw the first one, the premise is basically a little girl has a loss in her life and they get her a doll that brings her joy, but the doll basically kind of imprints on this girl and is like, I'm going to make sure this girl is okay. She is my world. And it gets a little crazy from there.
Yep.
And there's great dance scenes and stuff like that. Her
I am
kills,
familiar with the dance scene,
yeah,
yes.
her kills are very interesting. But
Also, if we're
yeah.
being honest, like if we're talking about Megan, like there's only me. Like I don't want a movie about a robot dog called Megan because I'm Megan. Like,
But I will say this, the one thing that is true about the first Megan is she became more sentient the more information she got, the more
yeah,
time she spent, and she was allowed to develop a personality because it was supposed to be for the betterment of the child, which I think is what happens in real life. They want to, like, we have open AI and we have all types of different things. Amazon has a AI assistant that keeps popping up and getting in the way when I'm trying to order my butt wipes. It's like, come on. I forget his name, but I'm like, get out the way.
right.
He's like, how do you feel about this product? I want it, clearly. I'm trying to get it. I need some
Leave
toilet
me
paper.
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, I get it.
but I mean, I'm interested. I will see Baker 2.0. I did not see Megan in theaters. I watched it at home. I thought it was cool. So I would certainly watch the 2.0 one. I don't know where they could take this movie. Well, I do kind of think I know where they could take it, but it would be interesting to see. I think
Yeah.
I would hope after the events of the first one they had learned their lesson, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
We're
We'll
gonna
see.
say.
There's nothing about that, so we can't
Oh,
go with that. I never forgot. I never forget, which I feel like that's weird. I feel like it should be I never forgot what you did last summer, but I
yeah, I
never
agree.
forget. I never forget what you did last summer, July
Is that
18th,
like
2025.
is that like Borat? Like
Right?
it's like I never forget my life. I don't know.
That's who's in this movie. This is the Borat original.
I would watch that,
So
honestly.
very nice. So announced in
Wawa. Sorry. I'm sorry.
announced in early 2023, I Know What You Did Last Summer is getting a new sequel from director Jennifer Caitlin Robert Caitlin Kate Caton.
Katen.
Sorry, Caton.
Katen.
Jennifer Caton Robinson and writer Lead McKendrick and with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Okay.
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 The film will be a direct sequel to the 1997 horror film, ignoring the subsequent sequels and starting a new time. What are we doing, people? What are we doing? There were so many other
Also, it says Freddie Prinze Jr. is rating on this. That's interesting.
right. I'm I am
Wait,
flabbergasted.
wait. It says the director is working with her best friend Sarah Michelle Gellar to revive the franchise, and Sarah Michelle Gellar was in the original, but she's not part of the sequel cast. So, okay. So we have Freddie Prinze Jr., who was involved in the first one, but he's
Mhm.
not in it. He's helping to write it. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who was in the first one, who is not in it, but is helping to produce it or some shit. And then only Jennifer Love Hewitt, and then we're ignoring the
Right.
sequels. That's like that's a lot. That's a big bite they're taking off.
That's just like honestly, it's giving me Halloween vibes where it's like you have like the new Halloweens that said we're going to negate like half of these movies that came out and we're just going to go with this is the
Yeah.
direct sequel. These new three movies are the direct sequel from like
Huh.
whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lore that they're kind of cutting out, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I Know What You Did Last Summer movies were like classic
Hmm.
90s B movies.
Slasher.
Yeah, and classic slasher. So I'm not really mad at the fact that they're trying to like, erase the lore and start with
Yeah.
this. Um, so I mean, I don't know. I'd give it a chance. I'd give it a chance. It doesn't really have any information about it, so it's not saying what it's
No.
about. It just says it's building from the first two movies. The sequel will pair up with original actors, a brand new cast of teens, which no thank you, being terrorized by the fishermen. So that's
Uh,
it. That's all we get.
meh. Okay.
So I mean, we'll
We're
find
gonna see.
out.
Yep.
We'll find out.
Insidious 6? God.
Listen, I didn't know that Insidious had five
Me
installments. Well,
either.
no, I did. I did because I did see the last Insidious. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. But it says that we get Patrick Wilson, love, Rose Byrne, like, Lynn Shay, love.
Love.
And I don't know why I thought she wasn't doing them anymore. I thought she like semi-retired, I thought.
Well, the thing is, she kind of shows up in like cameos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the last movie, she literally was in one cameo, and that's it.
Hmm.
Um, and look, Lee Winnell.
Again, she's very
Right?
busy. She's a very
Right?
busy lady. Yeah,
So, created by Lee Winnell, Insidious is a supernatural horror franchise that centers around a family plagued by demons from a realm called the Further that seek to take the life of those they haunt. The
yeah.
series continues to branch off, but centrally involves the Lambert family, with the first film surrounding their struggle to save their son from their uninvited house guests. Since Blumhouse producer Jason Blum had previously stated Insidious: The Red Door will be the indefinite end of the franchise, which is the one that I saw, which is actually I think five.
Mm.
The confirmation of the sixth installment of the story by Saw's Lee Winnell came as a surprise. And just so you guys know, if you don't realize who Lee Winnell is, if you saw the first Saw, Lee Winnell is the other person in the room with Doctor. So he is the crazy young guy who was taking photos. So people are probably like, who the hell is Lee Winnell? That's who Lee Winnell is, okay?
Wait, he what?
Lee Winnell is the guy
Yeah.
who was in the tub in the first Saw. He's in the room with the doctor. That's Lee Winnell. Adam from
Oh,
Saw.
okay.
So that's who
Wow.
Lee Winnell is. So I thought like let me just say who that is
Wow.
because it
Who
sounds
knew?
weird when you say it's a story by Saw's Lee Winnell. Lee
Well, also,
Winnell
and I
wrote
kept thinking
Saw.
Lee Winnell was like a female. So okay. So
Oh,
now it's all coming together. Yeah.
but yeah, so Lee Winnell, who was Adam. So yep.
Wow.
So this came as a surprise apparently to people. So it says, however, Insidious Five's box office success likely prompted Sony Pictures to order a new movie. And I have to be honest, I thought The Red Door was not the best Insidious installment.
Mm,
I think that people, anytime you have Patrick Wilson in the movie, I'm in, to be
yep.
quite honest. I mean, I even saw him in Aquaman, so it's fine.
In.
Um,
Yep.
but I feel like the last movie, that Red Door, I feel like that was almost a cash grab. The storyline was kind of mid. Um, the acting was okay. I felt like the resolution was the resolution. Like that's why it felt like it was an indefinite end to the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have ended it there. And I think like the very last scene, I'm not spoiling any, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the very last scene was a very, very good way to close this movie franchise. So to bring it back, I feel is kind of like, where are you going to go with it now? Are we spinning off to a whole new group of people? I know it says it centers around Lambert family, but I don't know. I'm split on this.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, uh so there's not a lot of information for this. So it says the sequel is likely to follow the Lambert family. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Number 10 on the list. We have been going backwards, people. We're at number 10 on the list. So we have The Conjuring Last Rites, September 5th, 2025, directed. Now here's the thing. Here is the thing. I'm about to say it right now. The The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It was also directed by Michael Chavez. So now, and we thought that Michael Chavez was stepping back for The Last Conjuring, and we were giving it back to its
Yeah.
rightful owner. And so now, if you know anything about us, we compare almost every long drawn out, we never want to see it again movie to The Devil Made Me Do It. And again, I will always stand on the fact that The Devil Made Me Do It is a good movie, but it's not a Conjuring movie. Okay. So I am a little perturbed and a little worried about this because this is supposed to be the last Conjuring movie, not necessarily the last Conjuring movie in the whole universe.
Right.
The last one with Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, which we'll love.
And it's in his hands.
It is. So,
Oh, yeah.
but the writer, James Wan is a writer on this one. He's just not directing. Okay, but still,
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and read through. The Conjuring Last Rites, directed by Michael Chavez, follows paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren as they embark on their final haunting investigation. The duo confronts mysterious entities in this chilling installment, adding to the legacy of the Supernatural series. The Conjuring Last Rites features the return of actors Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as the famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The fourth and last installment of the Conjuring main series will likely explore the couple's biggest case yet, and it begun filming earlier this month, which is whenever this was taking place. It's prior to this.
Right.
So they even have a list of all the Conjuring
Oh,
universe movies. And see, this is what I'm saying. This is a big series, a big universe that people don't realize. So,
yeah. And even like The Nun too wasn't anything to.
well, the Nun one wasn't either. So,
No, I know, but Michael Chavez directed
oh,
Devil Made Me
okay.
Do It and The Nun too, and it's like,
That makes sense then. Okay.
yeah.
Um,
And James Wan was a writer on a lot of these. James Wan was a writer on The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
so yeah, this is not
Damn
looking
it.
great. Let me say this. It's interesting because the first Nun had a different vibe to it, and when we went to the Nun 2,
Yeah,
it does feel like The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. It does have that same feel, and that's a Michael Chavez thing. So you can feel his energy through his directing of these movies, which
right,
means that this movie, Last Rites, is probably going to feel a lot like The Devil Made Me Do It, a lot like The Nun, which those movies they were more story driven than action
right.
driven. It was a lot more about the actual connections between characters rather than actually scaring you with the entities. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah,
with that being said, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not seeing that one in the theater. I think we both saw Devil Made Me Do It in the
in the
theater, right?
theater. Yep.
I'm not making that mistake this time. I'm not doing it. Hmm.
I will go see this in the theater
Whew.
because at times I'm a
You're brave.
completionist.
You're
Well,
brave.
like I said, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a Conjuring movie. And I
Yeah,
feel like had that been by itself as its own movie, just called The Devil Made Me Do It, take off The Conjuring and then
right.
replace Ed and Lorraine with any
Paranormal
paranormal
investigators.
investigator, right?
Yeah.
If you take them out, then the movie is fine by itself. It's like a decent B-C movie that you could see. It just doesn't fit the other Conjuring movies as far as The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2, which were
Hmm.
both directed by James Wan. I feel like for this last movie, James Wan should have came back and directed this to give people who really love the feel of the first two movies that same kind of feel.
Yeah,
Um, but
I agree.
it is what it is. But
You can't always
this
get what you want.
right. So just for the
Yeah.
people who are listening, just to run through these right fast so you can know every Conjuring universe movie or TV show. The first one coming in at 2013 was The Conjuring, directed by James Wan. Then we have Annabelle that came out in 2014, directed by John Leonetti. We have The Conjuring 2, 2016, again by James Wan. Then we have Annabelle Creation, which was a decent movie. It was solid.
Solid.
2017 by David Sandberg. Then we have The Nun in 2018 by Corin Hardy. That I saw that on my birthday, and it was like I said, it was okay. It had a good
Yeah.
scene, but it was like, Now then we have Annabelle Comes Home 2019 by Gary Dauberman. And it's interesting that a lot of these movies, even though they're in the same universe, they have so many different directors.
Right.
We then have 2021, The Devil Made Me Do It. We have
Blech.
2023, The Nun
Yeah.
2.
Mm.
Then, of course, we have The Conjuring Last Rites for 2025. And then there's a Conjuring TV show. I did hear about that, but nothing is known about that. That could come out in 2028 for all we know.
Yeah.
Um,
Anytime.
yeah. So we'll see. Yes, and there's nothing else really to say. All of the information about it is still under wraps, so we don't know about that. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, So September 19th, 2025, we have him, directed by Justin Tipping. So, it's a Monkey Paw production. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Jordan
Interesting.
Peele. So it says the Jordan Peele company that made the horror hits Nope, Us, and Get Out is producing Him, an anti-sports psychological horror.
Huh.
The movie is directed by award-winning Justin Tippin from Kicks and is set for release September 19th, 2025.
That's not doing anything for me, but I do like Jordan Peele as a
Right.
director. So,
So let's see. Peele's horror movie has Marlon Wayans, okay,
okay.
as a lead, right, as a lead and follows a rising young athlete with high ambitions who is given the opportunity to train with an old sports star. From the Monkey Paw production site, Him will take its protagonist, Tyreek Withers, on a blood-chilling journey into the inner sanctum of fame, power, and pursuit of excellence at any cost.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
And this movie was previously titled GOAT, which probably stands for greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think they mean like literal goat.
no,
Yeah.
no. I Here's the thing. I didn't see Nope. I heard Nope was okay. I didn't see it. I did see Us and Get Out.
Yeah.
Um, I Jordan Peele has a certain way of writing and a certain way of directing that is brilliant in his own right. He's very, very unique in the way he does his movies.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why I didn't see Nope. It just didn't pull me in. Like I said, it looked good visually, it looked great. I just didn't see it. Now, I'm not really feeling the premise of this,
Yeah.
but
I agree.
I love Marlon Wayans. I love him. And so this would probably be something I would turn on just to see. I need to see a trailer. The Nope trailer drew me in. I just didn't see it. Um,
I agree. I felt the same way. I didn't see that one, but I would have seen it. But like I
yeah,
said, I'm constantly missing things in the theater that I want to see,
right.
so I have to wait for them to come out. So,
Right. I'm more than likely to see stuff at home than in the movies.
yeah.
So I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying I'm gonna wait for it to come be streaming, as in like that movie's not good enough to actually go pay for
Yeah,
it.
of course, of course.
It's just that sometimes, you just don't get out.
Life.
Right. Life be life
Life
in.
happens. Yep.
Um, I mean, honestly, I personally thought I liked Us the most out of his movies. Followed by Get Out. I thought Get Out was great too, but I really, really loved Us. So, I mean, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. Um, yeah, so I don't really have anything else to say about that one. I need to see a trailer.
Ooh,
So I know that this is going to tickle Megan
I
here.
gotta see this.
We have The Bride coming out September 26th, 2025, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, which, listen, Maggie Gyllenhaal, she has an eye. I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at
Yeah.
her. So The Bride is a 2025 horror romance film written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. The film is set in the 1930s Chicago, where
Oh,
Dr. Euphonius creates Frankenstein as a companion. I hope I said Euphonius right.
it looks right to me.
Okay. Christian Bale. Oh, listen.
I'm interested.
Christian
Yep.
Bale stars as Frankenstein alongside Annette Bening, Jesse Buckley, Penelope Cruz, and Peter Sarsgaard.
Yep.
Listen here.
I'm
Listen
in.
here. Listen here, people. I am not, I have to be honest, I'm not a Frankenstein or the Bride person. I'm not. I'm not. I've never actually been into those. However, this cast and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. This sounds amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even like a 1930s, like I'm not I don't never really watch those type of movies that are back then.
Yeah. Well, everyone talks
But
like, see here, want to go to the
right.
thing? Yeah, like everyone talks like that.
I'm curious if this movie's going to be black and white. That's a little bit of a turn off for me, but I can see why it would be black and white because
Yeah.
that would definitely give you the vibe of this
Sure,
movie.
sure, sure.
But oh, it was filmed on Staten Island. Hey.
Staten Island. That's how you say it if you're from here. No one says Staten here. They say Staten.
Oh, Staten?
Staten
Okay.
Islands. But you gotta say it fast
Staten.
though.
Staten
Staten
Island.
Island.
Staten
Staten
Island.
Island. Yeah.
I can't even say it.
It's
Um,
better if you don't. No one goes there anyway. It's just like a trash heap. It's fine. Just
okay.
saying. Sorry,
So
mob wives. Sorry, Drita. Love you. Miss you.
yeah, I'm interested in this. I would certainly see this. I
I'm going to see that in the theater. I'm
I
seeing that in the theater, 100%.
honestly, I would see this in the theater. Christian Bale, though he doesn't seem to be the best human, is an amazing method actor.
Yes, I love him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and so every like when he did the Machinist, where he like got really, really thin for
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah.
role, that was one of the roles where I was like, he's a beast. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he did, I like his Batman. His Batman was fine. Um,
I just thought it was funny how his vo voice progressively got more aggressive with each
right,
one that he did. Or
right,
like, are you okay, my guy? Like, what's going
right.
on?
Your
Yeah.
throat seems like it might be a little scratchy.
Are you okay? Yeah.
But like, and he's done other movies that have been amazing as well.
Yeah.
And so Peter Sarsgaard too. Annette Bening. Like, come on.
Penelope Cruz. Like, it really is. It's a solid cast. It's a solid
I
director.
skip Penelope Cruz for a certain reason.
It's fine. But
Not in a bad way. It's fine.
no, but
Penelope,
I'm
she's
saying
good.
in general, like it's a solid cast. It's a
Yeah.
it's a reboot. Like I said, as long as we treat these with respect and care, I'm interested. Um, yeah,
Yes, because this is another Universal Monsters
you goddamn right.
movie. So, for everybody just to remember, this is Frankenstein, Wolfman, The Bride, The Invisible Man. The Universal Monsters are coming strong, coming out
Creature from the
strong.
Black Lagoon, Phantom
Yes.
of the Opera. We have The Mummy, which we already got movies about. We have there's a that Alien one too. I feel like there's someone I'm missing. Dracula. Um,
I
there's
mean,
a bunch of them.
Universal Monsters, they're a solid group of characters, and it's
Yeah.
just that people have not been doing them great. They haven't been doing good movies with them.
No.
Outside of The Mummy.
With
Not the
Brendan
not the
Fraser.
not the
Not the
yeah, I was about to
Tom
say not the
Cruise.
Tom Cruise
Not the
one.
Tom Cruise. Right, right.
But yeah,
I
so
refuse to acknowledge the existence of that movie. I'm not doing
yeah,
that.
so we will see. We will see. Um, so like it says, yes, set in 1930 Chicago, follow Frankenstein's monster and Dr. Euphonius as they reanimate the corpse of a murdered woman, apparently provoking social change, romance, and a whole city's fearful curiosity.
It has everything.
Yes, it does. So that sounds interesting. I'm interested. So yes, that seems like it's going to be good.
Hell yeah.
Now we come
Here
to
we
the
go.
biggest fucking cash grab of
Here we
all
effing
time.
go. Yeah.
I love the first Saw. If you saw our review, I gave that a 10. It's a great movie. I'm sick of this franchise though. They have been butchering it
Right.
since forever, okay? So,
11, the 11th entry. That's so many.
right. So Saw 11, September 26, 2025. It's interesting. It has a release date here of September 27, 2024. I don't know.
That's got to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mean 25.
So it says Saw 11 is the 11th entry in the long-running horror mystery franchise, which centers on the legacy of the serial killer known as Jigsaw. It was announced shortly after Saw 10's box office run. Minimal details on this film exist, other than Lionsgate confirming the franchise will continue and return in 2024, which I'm assuming they might mean 2025. Um, Another popular franchise from the 2000s, Saw 11 ceases. Is that ceases? The
Yeah, I don't know.
latest,
I don't know what that sentence doesn't make
well, I
sense.
guess stops the latest installment success because that's what it says.
Yeah, but like what does that mean?
Why? Right.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense. Screen
Um,
Rant, we got to talk about your
right,
your
your
sentence
writers.
structure a little bit. There's a few things I noticed I was trying to hold my tongue about, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It says although writers Josh Stolberg and Pete Goldfinger are not part of the project, there is hope that Megan writer James Wan and Insidious creator Lee Winnell will return as the original story creators.
Mm,
If that's true, this will be a great movie because everybody who has taken this movie over for quite some time has made this franchise just go to the crapper. Like
right.
after a certain amount of time, when all the original cast members, like well, not cast members, but all the original characters are dead or
Yeah,
gone for some reason, you need to stop the franchise. Like, stop it. And
right.
don't reboot it with somebody who, like, just was a fanboy and was like, I want to make a Saw movie, Spiral. Like,
Right.
let's not do it. Let's not do it. Listen, I love this. I love this franchise so much, but I'm tired of them. Please stop.
Yeah. Just because you can do something doesn't
Doesn't mean you
always mean that you
should.
should.
Sweet
Yeah.
baby Jesus. And now we have all Saw movies. Let's
Blech.
run through them real quick. We have Saw in 2004 with James Wan as the director. Saw 2, 2005 is Darren Lynn Bousman as the director. Saw 3 in 2006. They were solid. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They had one out every year. So Saw 3 was also directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. Saw 4, 2017, Lord, 2007, also by Darren Lynn Bousman. Saw 5, 2008 by David Hackle. Saw 6, 2009 by Kevin, I can't say his last name, Grutert. I think
Sure.
that's
That
Grutert.
looks good. Looks good to me.
Um, then we had Saw 3D, which serves as Saw, I'm going to say 7, uh, 2010, also by Kevin. Jigsaw, which serves as, I'm assuming, Saw 8,
Yep.
um, which is 2017, directed by Michael and Peter Spyrig. Then we have Spiral, which really isn't a part of this franchise, but they're counting it technically as Saw 9,
Hmm.
also by Darren Lynn Bousman from 2021. Then we have Saw 10, 2023 from Kevin again. And Saw 11, 2025 sliding on in, directed by Kevin. Oh, after a big delay, Saw 11 shares a release date with The Bride
Oh
on
no.
September 26, 2025. The only confirmed cast member is Tobin Bell, returning as Josh Kramer. He is so, so past his expiration date. I don't know what they're going to do. This man has
Yeah.
been dead for the majority of these
I know.
movies. And so I'm just so lost. The only one they don't have here, well, no, is the one that came out that was in between the two, Saw 1 and Saw 2, or Saw 2 and Saw 3,
Hmm.
whatever. So the 11th installment of the franchise will likely be a sequel to Saw 10, featuring Costas Mandylor as Hoffman and Jorge Brasenka, these words, as Carlos. So no, so Saw 10 was the one that's actually a prequel. So this is how they can bring back Tobin, because Tobin was, or John Kramer rather, because John Kramer was still alive during that time. So we still have him being
Hmm.
alive, but they are forcing in stories in
Right.
between things that already happened.
Yeah.
Because I think that Saw 10, I believe, took place between Saw and Saw 2. And I believe he dies by Saw 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
So the lore is huge. There's so many movies.
Yeah, there's it's a big monster.
Yeah. But I
Mm-mm.
mean, I stopped watching. I have not seen Jigsaw. I saw Spiral, hated it. I did not see Saw 10. So I'm a little behind. So I'll have to catch up. I heard Jigsaw was great or good at least. So I will watch Jigsaw. I will probably watch Saw 10 at some point, though I heard that was bad.
Yeah.
I do know the full synopsis and the ending of Saw 10, but I will watch it for continuity purposes.
Sure.
Um, and we'll see, I guess.
We will see.
Are you gonna watch it?
No. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're choosing the bride over that.
Absolutely. Absolutely I am. Yep.
Black phone.
Oh,
The
there it
black
is.
phone. All
We're like
right.
the phone
Right?
booth, the phantom toll booth. Like, what is it? I don't
So
know what it
number
is.
6 on the list, the Black Phone 2 coming out October 17th, 2025. And this is a Blumhouse original. And I will say the original Black Phone was a good movie. Considering it was a Blumhouse movie. So Black Phone 2, a sequel to the 2022 film The Black Phone, continues the chilling narrative centered around the mysterious and horrifying occurrences involving a disconnected phone. Maintaining its thriller roots, the film expands the story's eerie universe, introducing new characters and deeper mysteries. This is
Hmm.
directed by Scott Derrickson. So, yeah,
Hmm.
this is interesting. So Ethan Hawke is coming back as the
Okay.
infamous grabber, and the pair of siblings, Mason Thames as Finney and Madeline McGraw as Gwen. Madeline did an excellent job in that movie. She
Hmm.
was dope. She was dope. Um, so yeah, this was originally supposed to come out June 27th, 2025, was delayed due to unknown circumstances. So we're getting it later. I think this is an October movie. This is more of a fall movie. I don't think it should have came out.
That's honestly, that's also a very short shooting schedule. It says filming is set to start this year in November and finish mid-January. Short.
Right, which when they say November, they mean 2024. The people on Screen Rant did not put the dates in correctly to let you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. I assume it meant November 2024
Right.
and January 2025. So that's very
Well, I mean, the first phone, it really, most of it took place in a room. It had some outside shots. So it was very limited movement going
yeah,
on.
no, but still, that's a lot to cram in for like a multi-hour movie, you know.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's special. Well, that's the filming. So it's not counting the editing,
Yeah, of
post-production,
course.
reshoots.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that might be okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. It says actors Jeremy Davies and Miguel Mora are also coming back, setting the sequel as a direct follow-up to the first. Okay. So a synopsis has yet to be released, but if you saw the first phone, you know, I'm not spoiling that. You
Hmm.
know what happened. So you know
If
what
you know, you
happened.
know.
And I mean, based on that movie, there could be some interesting ways they take this. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, okay. We have number 5. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, coming out December 5th, 2025, directed by Emma Tammy, or Tamai, however she wants to pronounce that.
However you want.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 continues the suspenseful horror saga with Mike Schmidt, a former security guard, returning to fend off animatronic nightmares at Fazbear's. I can never say his name. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. That is such a hard thing to say. I don't know who thought of that to make that the name of that pizza place, but it is what it is. As
Yeah.
new challenges arise, survival becomes precarious in this chilling sequel, expected to expand the franchise's eerie narrative and thrill its audience.
All right.
So, I mean, I have to be honest, I didn't see the first one. I have seen the video game, and it's okay. I think I would need to see the first one in order to be interested in the second one, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, because honestly, if you ever been to Chuck E. Cheese, I used to be scared of those animatronics.
Oh
Oh
yeah, dude.
God.
Someone actually, this is on our recommendations list, the first one. So maybe we'll have
Mm-hmm.
to do that. We have the OG
I
Five
know
Nights
who
at
did. I know who put
Freddy's.
that one out. I know who put that one out.
I
So,
think I do too.
so I mean, we should certainly do that
Yeah,
soon
yeah, yeah.
then. Um,
When's this coming out again? December
This
3rd. Oh,
one
we
comes
got we
out.
got a little bit. We got a little time. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you probably will see a Five Nights at Freddy's, the first one, sometime in spring.
Yep.
For the person who recommended this. So okay. So here's the promise to you. Sometime in spring.
I'm not making
Um,
promises to anybody. So,
sometime in spring. Okay. So it's one of many Blumhouse 2025 releases because Blumhouse is on fire this year. Five
fire. Yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 will come out on December 5th and will be available in theaters and for streaming on Peacock. The sequel will expand on the original's world by pulling inspiration from the video game franchise and adding a number of scarier and deadlier
Oh,
animatronics.
hooray.
If you guys know, I love horror video games. I watch horror video games all the time on YouTube. I love them. Um, and I have seen gameplay of Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's okay. But maybe in a movie form, it would be a little bit more interesting for me. So I'm interested. I'm mildly interested.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna look forward to the review, so I can, make a better assessment and give it some bloody axes. So
Sure.
we'll see. Look at all the Blumhouse movies coming out in
So
2025.
many.
So we have Wolfman, The Woman in the Yard, that had absolutely no synopsis. We have Drop, Megan 2.0, Insidious 6, The Black Phone 2, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So they are busy and they have something almost every month.
Yeah.
Um, at least they're hitting every season of the year. They're hitting summer, spring, winter, and fall. So
Sure.
there's that.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So sweet baby.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
number 4, Final Destination Bloodlines to be determined.
Oh,
Yeah. So the premonition-based horror franchise returns in Final Destination Bloodlines. This entry acts as a relaunch for the series, with the formula remaining the same. Each film's protagonist is given a vision of a deadly event that takes several lives by using this information to avoid their own death and the deaths of others. They wrote this all wrong. By doing this, death looks to claim those who've escaped by orchestrating bizarre accidents that kill them one by one. And I feel like you said all for a certain reason.
I did. Right. The first name in the cast, Tony Todd,
Yes.
who we
Yes.
lost this year.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, last year,
20 technically,
2024.
but it
Right.
was it wasn't that long ago. So
No.
that's why I said aw, because he was a precious angel baby and we miss him.
Yes. So they said this is going to change the rules of the franchise. I mean, they just said it's going to follow the same formula, so how are we changing the rules? Uh, because honestly, Final Destination series is such a straightforward series. Like they said,
Right.
someone has a premonition and several people die, and they pull these people off, and then death is like, you can't escape me. I'm going to kill you off one by one.
Yep. That's
And
it.
so, and then even when they try to like skip it or they try to like save somebody, death still comes back around and gets people.
Sure does.
So I'm wondering how they're going to change the rules. Maybe they'll figure out to save everybody, and that's how they change the rules. That would be very interesting.
Oh, maybe. That'd be
That would be
interesting.
interesting, but then we
Mm,
wouldn't have any kills, so that's not interesting.
mm.
So we'll see.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. So we shall see. And 2025 marks the franchise's 25th anniversary. So that's wild. The first one we
Yeah.
got was 25 years ago. Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
All Final Destination 6 cast brings back Tony Todd as Bloodworth, the Mortician,
Oh,
and puts stars Breck Bessinger, Tio Briones, and Caitlin Santawana in the lead. It has been revealed the movie's concept gives center focus to first responders as these characters go against death every day. I like the premise.
terrifying. Sure.
I like that premise. I'm down. I'm
Yeah.
definitely down. But we're gonna move on because Megan's gonna be excited for this next one. Completely excited.
Oh, and it's the guy that you don't like because you don't like to say his name, right?
Wait, I was practicing earlier.
Okay, okay.
Guillermo del Toro.
You did it. You
Hey,
did
I
it.
said, listen here, I can't be on a horror podcast and not say that man's name. He's a legend as far as
He
directors go.
is.
I have to know how to say Guillermo del Toro. So there we
Sure.
go. So Frankenstein to be determined. So we don't have a date for
Frankenstein.
this, but it says Frankenstein's monster is a creature created by Victor Frankenstein in Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein.
Mary Shelley, my
Um,
hero.
yes, and
Yes.
so we have let me see, can I can't expand that, so it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna just read from here because if you've been watching, Megan has talked a lot about Mary Shelley and Frankenstein recently. We've had reasons to talk about it.
Yay.
So it's going to be interesting. This is a Netflix movie. So it says Netflix's Frankenstein wrapped filming in late September 2024 and will likely be out in theaters late 2025. So Frankenstein. So Netflix is producing movies
Oh, all
and
right.
putting them out. And wait, hold on. Let me go back up. It says the alias for Frankenstein or the monster, alias Frankenstein's monster, powers, increased strength and stamina. First app. I don't.
First appearance.
Oh, Mary Shelley's. Thank you, Mary Shelley's. I'm
Hmm.
like first app. Like what app?
He loves the
Instagram.
mozzarella sticks. Like he was crazy about spinach dip, I
Oh
think.
my God, that's
So
so
yeah.
good. I could go for
Right.
some spinach too. Um. So yeah. So We Live in Time actor Andrew Garfield was initially cast to play Frankenstein's creature in Del Toro's version. However, he can't do it. He has other scheduling issues or scheduling
Oh, damn.
conflicts.
I don't want him in it anyway, so that's
I
fine. Oh
like Andrew Garfield,
no.
okay. I
I
like him
like him fine,
okay.
but I don't want him to be Frankenstein. Mm-mm.
I mean,
No.
if we're looking at this
Mm.
picture here, we're seeing a picture of Frankenstein's monster, and he definitely doesn't look like Andrew Garfield. And
Well,
this
also nobody kind of looks like Frankenstein,
that's
right? Like
true.
you gotta.
This would be definitely a Nosferatu level change for Andrew Garfield. Like he'd have to be in some severe makeup to look like
Maybe they're
Frankenstein's
gonna make
monster.
Frankenstein hot. Like everyone was saying that Nosferatu is hot with his bone structure and his mustache. Listen, I'm the first one to tell you, I'll be very happy if they make Frankenstein hot. I
Let me
don't
tell you
know.
something. I would be in an uproar. Like those people were, there's a whole, I don't know if people follow like fat acceptance movements and things like that, but people were in an uproar because there was a Santa Claus movie that came out with The Rock, and Santa Claus, I think, was either played by Chris Hemsworth or something like that. But either way, Santa Claus wasn't fat. He was hot, and people were pissed. They were like, our Santa's supposed to be fat, he eats cookies and drinks milk.
Don't we have other things to be more concerned about?
Right,
Don't
right,
we?
right. But I'm gonna say this. If Frankenstein comes out hot, I'm gonna be like those people. Frankenstein's supposed to be a blockhead and ugly.
Well, we're just gonna have to see, aren't
We'll
we?
see. We'll see. To be determined. We'll figure it out.
TBD.
Yes. So,
Oh,
Del Toro's Frankenstein cast stars Oscar Isaac. I'm already in. I'm already in. Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi as the arrogant scientist Victor Frankenstein and his unfortunate creature. Although the roles of Mia Goth and
oh,
Christian Convery remain unknown, the actors will likely be playing Victor's siblings, Elizabeth Lavenza and William.
I'm interested.
It sounds interesting.
It's a good cast.
Yes. Yes. So we'll see. So we are at number two. We're almost done here. The number two is The Strangers Chapter 2 to be determined, directed by Rennie Harlan. So, The Strangers Pray at Night sequel, The Strangers Chapter 2, continues the story of ruthless mass strangers. So I can't see the rest of that, so I'm just going to move down here. The first chapter of the Strangers trilogy sequel received mixed reviews for being a close remake to Bertino's horror classic. Yeah. However, director Rennie Harlan hyped the coming chapters by revealing that they go further and deeper into exploring the masked killer's origins in the town of Venus.
Hmm.
If you saw, I listen, I didn't see The Strangers Pray at Night for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because nothing beats the original Strangers. The original Strangers is a classic that will go down in history as one of the best, like that type of movie of all
Sure.
time. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? And
Sure.
that it's not the best horror movie of all time. Don't get me twisted. I'm not saying that. But and that is also a one for me, it's a one watch movie. Like if I watch it again, it doesn't give me the same vibes. It's almost like Saw.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I'm not
Sure.
I don't think I'm interested in this.
I'm not, I can tell you I'm not. I don't care.
But I mean, I would have to see. I would have to see where they go with it because yeah, they said it was so much like the first one. It's like why would we go see it?
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. So It says the movie follows up on Maya, played by actress Madeline Pesh, recovering from the attack in the first installment. The Strangers Chapter 2 cast has made key additions to the trilogy and hinted at them to be the faces behind the masks, strongly determined to terrorize the final girl. And I think that was something too. Like in The Strangers, we never saw their faces and they like showed their faces and it was like, well, what's the
Mm,
point? They're
right,
no
right.
longer strangers anymore. So now we know them.
Exactly.
Now
Now
they're
we know.
friends.
Now,
Woohoo.
from strangers to friends. That's the
Right?
next movie they're gonna make.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we're at number one. Okay,
What's
people.
number one?
The Strangers Chapter 3.
What?
Yup.
What
To
the
be
hell?
determined. In the chilling Strangers film franchise, unsuspecting individuals face their darkest fears when they become targets of enigmatic masked assailants. Each film explores the harrowing ordeal of a couple or family randomly chosen for a night of relentless terror. So this is the final sequel of Remy Harlan's take on the Strangers franchise. The movie will see the final confrontation between Madeline
Mm-mm.
Pesh Maya and Scarecrow, Pinup Girl, and Dollface. The director confirmed he filmed all three movies simultaneously.
Oh
So
well.
it is possible the movie will be released in late 25, right after Chapter 2.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting, Rennie. Interesting choices.
And then they said there are theories surrounding the Strangers Chapter 3 edition of new killers Ghost Skull and Witch Face, which are dumb names,
I
who are
think Ghost
credited in
Skull
Chapter 1.
is a metal name. I think Witchface is a dumb name.
I will take Ghost Skull because it reminds me
Yeah.
of Ghost Rider, like
I
Ghost
was just
Skull.
thinking that Ghost Rider. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but Witch Face, I don't like that.
No, that's dumb.
That's horrible.
That's dumb.
That
Yeah,
is horrible.
I agree.
So it says the story remains unknown. However, Rennie Harlan's The Strangers Chapter 1 interview with Screen Rant reveals important elements. Not only is the mystery surrounding Tamara, because if you remember the very first movie, it's like, is Tamara home? Surrounding Tamara
Tamara.
to be answered, but all three movies are said to take place over the course of a few days.
Hmm.
I would see this movie if it talks about who the hell Tamara is, because that has been haunting us for
Who is
decades.
Tamara?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you knock on my door and you ask me if Tamara's home, and I'm like, I don't know who Tamara is, and I'm not answering this door. So,
Yeah, I get that. I get that. It's interesting. Very
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, this was a long list of movies. I know we took up quite a bit of your time here. Thank you for chilling with us. If you did, I'm just scrolling back up for anybody who's
Hopefully you
listening.
found some movies you picked out for yourself that you want to see this year.
Right. I mean, we have a lot to choose from.
We do.
And there's probably things that haven't been mentioned that might come out all of a sudden
Sure.
because, there's always hidden gems that are being pushed out way later in the year. So we'll have to see, but this is a
Absolutely.
solid list. 24 movies we just looked through. So I guess we'll have to see, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you
That's
have
exciting.
any final thoughts about anything at
No, I
all?
got nothing to add. We can come back and talk about them as we see some of these movies. We'll kind of continue those with our Horror Ghouls After Dark because as I promised you, we will not spoil new movies for you
Not at
ever.
all.
That is our promise to you. So when we come back, we're just going to talk about more general things, story things, things we liked, maybe things we didn't like, but spoiler free for your enjoyment. So don't be
Yes.
afraid when you say it after dark. They're not going to have spoilers for you unless it's an old ass movie. And if that's the case, then it's your own goddamn fault for not seeing it. So
Absolutely. So we hope you enjoyed this second or first. This is probably going to be the second
yeah.
installment of Horror Ghouls After Dark. So until next time, stay spooky, people.
Bye.
Bye, guys.